would be a dining room. Just a quick look. And I do still have this 75 in here that's a community tank of oddballs and cichlids and knife fish and rope fish and all that kind of stuff. And for now, that's going to stay there. Here we've got Gizmo. No, not Gizmo. I call him Gizmo sometimes. Gomez. It'll happen to you guys when you're old too. So, but Gizmo's not a bad name. But he's in a shed, you can see, and he's in his new habitat, which slowly adding things to build that up and thicken it out. And the next thing is some foliage, and also to clean out the plants that have died back there just from the move. He's not going to have any carpet on the bottom, doesn't right now, and he's going to have kind of a pan down there, not kind of, but a pan with some substrate and some smaller things growing out of that. He does like to go down to the ground occasionally and forage around for mealworms and things that have fallen. So let me go around the back here. I don't even need to go back there. That is a ball python. It's a common. It's Reggie is what I call him. I name my snakes, most of them anyway. And then over there, I had moved that over, that 40 breeder over, in anticipation of setting up a rack there. And those are habitat tank tops leaning against the wall, laying in the chair, lamps on the floor, that kind of stuff. Still got some straightening up and cleanup to do, but I'm decided not to use the rack just now, and so I'm going to move that back. That's an open habitat that I just set up there on the corners of that, out of the way, because I'm not using it right now. And coming on over across the back wall there, don't even remember this little guy's name, but it's he's never out. This is kind of where I do my potting and stuff, as you can see. Dirt on the floor, dog beds, stuff like that back here. Yeah, he hardly comes out. He's the milk snake, also a king snake, and he's a Puebloan milk snake, so he's gorgeous. Doing this, holding coffee with one hand and the phone in the other. He's not out, he never is, if he thinks I'm in the room. And I could uncover, I've got things that I've been moving around, just laying on that for now, so don't want to try to do that. And in here is Sandy, my second reptile ever. This is from Sand Creek Aquatics. Nathan, the one that Chattanooga Ed and Fish Room Fever James went over and brought back when they went over and helped Amy disperse Nathan's fish and one reptile after he passed a few years ago. And I got Sandy. I was willing to take him because I had another reptile, not a snake, but I thought now's the time. So Sandy's in here, and he's just recently gone from having a glass lid on there to a wire cage lid. So some adjustment, and we're watching humidity with him and sheds and stuff. He was just out when I turned lights on, but went back under his hide there. So been spending time handling him more. Sweet snake, but just had not been following up with the handling. And then here's the varmint that started it all. Somewhere is Nelson, the Indonesian blue-tongued skink. And I don't even see Nelson. It's amazing how well he can hide as large as he is. So I'm not seeing him. He's able to make himself small, obviously. My guess is he's under this hide here. Come back out this way. And we're seeing a lot of reflection behind me, sorry. But yeah, I think he's probably under that hide. He's had his cat food this morning. It was chicken and gravy sauce, or chicken flavor. I don't see him. There are also anoles in here. You might be able to see. They can get up on that artificial plastic plant as well as these other plants, and I've never had one come up missing that I'm aware of. And I keep the anoles for the other snake over here to eat. So I don't see Nelson, but I'm sure he's in there. Otherwise, all this wood and things would have been knocked off. I don't have clamps on his clips on his tank, but I have them over here to add. And in here, cinnamon. Oh, let me show you guys this real quick. So I've got a little longer and a little more boring than even for me. So what I did, instead of having 3 tanks behind each other on each side, like 1, 2, 3, I turned them this way, kind of, and fanned them out a little on each end. So that gives me visibility from front and back and sides into all 6 of these that are sitting here. And then 7 is Sigurd, and you might be able to see him right in the center of the frame, sitting in his little jade tree. No, it's elephant plants pot. He's sitting right there watching everything. He seems to like this setup better. I did this last night, and he's been out and about much more often today. So just quickly, oh, I missed the Agama Lizards, the clown or painted. There's one peeping at me back there. These guys are super, super, super tame, and they seem to enjoy being held. I can hand feed them. They are a mated pair. They love their crickets, and they love their superworms, and they also love to dig. And there's another one. The other one's tail sticking out. So I'm going to be adding them a couple more inches of sand. They really, really do need more sand. That's a food bowl there with worms in it. But they love crickets, and they're fast. They can catch them. Down here is the leopard gecko, Deo, D-E-O, that was surrendered at the Ark. And he is pretty nocturnal. He does come out during the day and sunbathes, but not that often. His bulb, actually, the ceramic piece broke on it, so I've got to replace that. And his big buddy is Rosie. Rosie, Rosie, psst, psst. Rosie. She's busy, but that's his buddy. She does sit on top of his enclosure, and I'm watching that closely. She doesn't scratch it, doesn't bother him, he doesn't bother her, so she likes the heat, obviously. So no issues there. Then right here, we have Cinnamon, and she's the G-stripe. You can see her face right there in the middle. It's hard to shoot through these wires, but I'm not gonna unclip all these. She's right there. She had gotten thin, and you can probably tell she is. And I actually did a force feeding on her a week ago. I'm going to do one again tonight. She's a little stronger looking this week, so we'll see how that goes. But was able to get the mouse downer. And here is the red-sided lizard, and he's obviously very busy sunbathing. He's had his habitat misted, and has had a couple of crickets this morning, and he's just chilling. So really cool lizard. He'll come right up here and take them from me. He'll walk right up the bark. This bark is out of my yard from months and months ago, and I salvaged it. And then down here has quickly become one of my favorites, and I guess she's not going to come out. It's the African brown bush snake. I had a little video of her feeding a couple videos back if you want to see what she looks like. But she usually comes out if I'm in here talking and so forth. She begs for food, even if she's just eating, she wants more food. So she's got rocks in her water, so going to be adding a few more things to her habitat too. Just work in progress. And then here is the Euromastics, and yeah, there he is out. Can't see him because it's showing us the wire, but he's right. Let's try this. There he is. Right in the middle at the back. And he's just got up from sleeping and came over and stretched, and see, he pulled his food out of his bowl. But he's got some diced strawberries, carrots, and greens this morning, and he's doing well. He's growing. I can really tell he's putting on some size now. So he's doing great. And in here is the fire skink, and don't have this light on a lot. It's in more high humidity, as you can tell, but he's doing awesome, doing great. Fun to watch him eat crickets. And these two guys, or three guys, no, two guys, there are two in here, horn snakes. I've got two morphs in here, and one, actually both are underneath that coconut shell. And I'm almost tempted to waste your time enough to open it up and show them, but I won't. But they're really pretty together. And then the smaller one, the little Okiti that I got a couple weeks ago, I'm just kind of keeping off to the side. I did trade my snow morph, you know, the white corn snake I had. I traded that, and that was for the Okiti, the new morph that I got. But this guy here is a great feeder, great eater. Hey, Bubby. That's the little one that I had in with them, but I decided just to pull him out and grow him for a couple weeks more. But I'm not worried about them eating him. I just want to make sure all the odds are even. Of course, I hand feed him, so he's doing great in there, and works out perfect. He sits on top of the Uromastyx habitat, which is quite warm, so it makes it just perfect for this guy. I think that's everybody. I've bored us with enough rambling, and this is a long video, so say goodbye, Gomez. Thanks, guys.